All right, this is my worst audition ever. P.S. That headshot, come on. Don't ever ask your mother to buy you a set of headshots. So my worst audition ever actually was something that came back to bite me in the ass 2 years later. So the place is, I'm in college, I've just graduated college, and I'm prepping for that all-important summer after my senior year. And I decide that I really want to work my way up the ladder of the business of show. So I had done 3 years as a dancer at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia. And where do you go but up? So I decided that what I would do was I would go home for the summer, and I would save money, and then I would move with my parents, and I'd save money for the summer, and then I'd move to the city in September. That was kind of my plan. So I went home, and I immediately got a job as a dancer at Riverside Park in Agawam, Massachusetts, which is now, thank you, which is now Six Flags Over New England. They still have the Cyclone though. They still have the Cyclone. So I was the swing for the park shows. I got paid a whopping $150 a week, and now Agawam was 45 minutes away from my parents' house. So I wasted more than $150 just going back and forth between the park and my parents' house, saving no money. So about 2 weeks into this job, I get a call from a cruise line entertainment company, and they said, we are looking for a production tenor. Could you come down and be our tenor in our show? And I was like, oh my God, this is a great opportunity. Like, that would be the next obvious step, cruise ship after theme park. So yes, of course, please. I'm almost there. So she says, we can pay you $450 a week. And I was like, inside I was going, oh my God, that's 3 times what I'm making right now. And outside I said, I'm currently making $450 a week, so you're gonna have to do better than that. So she said, so we'll pay you $600. So I was on my own agent. And yeah, give it up for negotiating at the age of 22. So I went back to the theme park and I told them that I'd have to leave right away. And they were pissed about it, but I had to be there on Monday. This call came in on Friday, and I had to be at port on Monday to start this job. So I flew down on Monday, I arrived. Side note, this was to be a production tenor on the Big Red Boat. The Big Red Boat was the ugly stepchild of Disney before they got Disney Cruise Lines. So this was in the heyday, aka the 1960s. This was the ship to be on. It's now 1999. So it was luxury, it was not. So I got down there and I was going to be the tenor, and there were 2 male singers, there were 2 female singers, and there were 2 female dancers. That was it. And do you remember the Love Boat? How like Carol Channing and Ethel Merman would always perform on that like kind of half moon dance floor? That was the show. That was it. I think that was the stage. So we're talking no high production value. I had to do 4 shows. I had to do 2 kids shows. I had to do what they called a Broadway opener, which was like a 4-minute opener for whatever act was on that night, the variety show or the magician or what have you. And then I had to do the big show. Everyone called it the big show. It was called a country jamboree. It was big. It was huge. Huge sets and costumes. There was like a fence. That was it. There was like a fence right there. So I arrived on Monday, and I got on the ship, and it turns out that I was actually replacing Ward Billison. Now Ward Billison is an actor here in New York. He's been on Broadway, Fiddler on the Roof and Curtains, and he's currently in Anything Goes. And Ward is a tenor, and I didn't know this beforehand, but Ward is like a true tenor. So I got there, met everyone. It turns out Natalie, the vocal captain, was a friend of mine. We'd worked together at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg. So I felt really comfortable and really confident about like taking the job and really doing a good job for them. I was really, at that point in my career, I was like, I just want to do good work. And I just want to do solid, good cruise ship work. Oxymoron. So I started learning the show on Monday when I got there. And the cruise ship was set up so that it would do Monday to Friday cruises and Friday to Monday cruises. And we went back and forth to the Bahamas. Beautiful Nassau, Bahamas. If anyone's been, it's just luxury. So, and pretty ladies get their hair braided there. So I got on Monday, and I worked with Natalie, my friend, who was the vocal captain, and Dawn, who was the dance captain. And we worked all the shows, and we worked 2 of the shows that day. We worked the 2 kids shows, and I was blazing through material. I mean, I was like hardcore music trained. I was sight reading. I was doing fantastic. Like, I was like picking up like that. I mean, they'd never seen such professionalism on the big red boat. So, cut to Tuesday.